So, you want to know if you can pivot to counseling as a mid career professional. In one word, the answer is no. But stay put through the whole video because you have something in this for you, right? You cannot pivot to counseling as a mid career professional if you do not have a background in psychology at undergraduate and postgraduate levels. But you also need to understand what is counseling, how many types of counseling are there, and if you so love to offer counseling to people while staying within the regulations imposed by the National Commission of Allied Healthcare Professionals, then watch this video, right? And I can bet you will learn a lot. Now, this channel is just 40 people so far, but if you subscribe, it would give me a lot more reason and, of course, interest to come up with many more videos like this one, right? That'll help you sharpen your decision making to pivot to a counseling practice. So do subscribe and at the same time, watch every video possible, right, that I post here. Why? Because every video I post is in an order that either builds on the previous one or adds to the next one, right? You will miss out on significant information if you don't watch all of them. And you will still land in some confusion, which, if you would watch, would be clarified. And of course, you can always ask questions after watching all my videos if you still find any particular question hasn't been answered. Maybe you can ask and I would see if I can cover it as and when time permits, because this is an extra endeavor, unpaid one. Okay, with this, let's move on. The thing is, you can be a counseling professional, not as a counseling psychologist, right? Not as a counseling psychologist who offers therapy, but you can be a counseling professional who can help people solve their everyday problems, not with their internal life, but with their external life, right? You can help them find their motivation. You can help them find their purpose. You can give them a productive engagement with some everyday skill that can help them grow in their professional life. You can also be their guide and mentor in their, otherwise social life. I'm exactly walking you toward the idea of being a life coach, right? I see that there are coaches like anxiety coach and OCD coach and this and that who all are picking up areas that are currently in violation of the NCAHP Act. I would not recommend you that. But I would recommend you something softer, something that does not violate and at the same time adds a lot of value to a person's life and to yours. Financially, of course. Because a person is not just a person after they have transitioned into a clinical condition. A person, when seen as a whole person, has a lot of things happening in their life before they get clinical, right? Not knowing how to deal with people at the workplace is a big challenge. If you can intervene there, of course, it can be a place for a psychologist also, because it is also about behavior. But then again, if you approach that area, it is still a non clinical area. Based on your judgment on how you present yourself on social media, the topics that you touch, the depth that you convey, how you communicate, all those things can place you at a higher level without getting into the clinical lane. Stay non clinical and still be helpful. So consider this, and to break into this space, you have to first start with identifying the core area, right? How you are going to basically help, where you're going to help. And then build a body of work around your thought process of how you will intervene in such situations. And over time, you will start gaining traction because a lot of people, they don't want to visit psychologists, they don't want to visit psychiatrists. Maybe they would like to take your help. All you have to ensure is that you give no psychological advice, no psychiatric advice to them. Never talk about medicine, never talk about therapy with them. But within your non clinical space, show them ways that they can be a happier version of themselves, a more content and fulfilling version of themselves, right? So, yeah, that is all. If you will still need a consultation, you can book a session. The link is in the bio, I guess, or maybe I'll pin it in the description. If not, you can always ask for the link, and yeah, okay, bye, take care.